Hey y'all, welcome to week 34 of my pregnancy vlogs. It is February 1st and I am exactly 34 weeks today. So for the past 2-ish weeks, I think, there's been kind of a lot that went on. We had a snow/ice storm, so we had that. But before the storm actually hit, I had my NST scan that Tuesday, and everything with the boys came back perfect. They had a perfect strip. Heartbeats was amazing. They was kicking. Everything else was going really, really well with it. And then Wednesday came around and they called for snow. They actually called for flurries. The flurries turned into a very light dusting of snow. Then that Thursday, my OB called and said that they was uncomfortable with their patients being out in the weather because they was called for ice that night, and that they wanted to go ahead and cancel my appointment for Friday and make it Monday. But I told them that was fine because I was really uncomfortable with being out on the roads with it being as slick as it was anyway. So they switched it to Monday, and that's when I had my growth ultrasound to check and make sure that they're gaining weight and their fluids and everything else. So they are gaining weight. Brian, which was baby A, not this last growth ultrasound, but the one before that, he was weighing in at 3 pounds. And Dominic, which is baby B, was weighing in at 3 pounds 11 ounces. And then at this last growth ultrasound, Dominic was weighing in at 4 pounds 11 ounces and Brian was weighing in at 3 pounds and 11 ounces. So right after that, I had my doctor's appointment, and she said because everything looked so amazing that I didn't need to go back up to the hospital Tuesday for an NST scan, that I could just come in the following that Thursday instead of Friday for an ultrasound. So that Thursday, I went in for another ultrasound, and everything is still looking really, really good with the boys. Their heart rates are still really good. By now they normally are they're starting to show signs of the placenta coming off the wall, and they have no signs of that at all. My doctors have made it clear that if I wasn't having identical twins or three previous C-sections, that I could probably make it to 38 to 39-ish weeks before they would talk about inducing me, just because of how well the pregnancy has gone so far, medical wise. So after that, it was the only thing I really had to complain about with the ultrasounds, and this is pretty much all ultrasounds now and all NST scans, is being on my back hurts to the point to where I'm getting dizzy, to where I feel like I'm gonna throw up, and it hurts. Like, my back literally hurts me 24/7 now, and I've said that a lot in previous videos, but now it is a lot worse than it was. Make sure that they ask a lot if I'm okay, if I need to roll to my side, if I feel nauseated or anything like that. They also have came to the conclusion that Dominic, which is on my right side, is his positioning. He hasn't moved from the position he's been in, but the position he's in hurts when any kind of pressure is applied to it, because he's like, okay, this is my stomach, and this is Dominic, and he's like pushed up as far against it as he can. And I think it's more of his comfort zone, where Brian is more relaxed, and the only time he really hurts is when he kicks up in my ribs. But Dominic's feet are right at the same location as Brian. Or after my ultrasound ended, she sent me back to my doctor, which is Palmer, and he's been my primary pretty much this whole pregnancy. He asked me if they've already set up my C-section, and I told him yeah, that it was supposed to be for February 23rd, which would make me like 37 weeks and 6-ish days. And he looked at me kind of strangely and said that he was kind of uncomfortable with that, so he went out and talked to the head doctor, which was going to be the one who did my C-section that day. Told me that if I was okay and comfortable with it, that he would like to take them earlier than that. He would much rather prefer to take them around 36-ish weeks. And I told him, yeah, that was fine, that as long as their lines were developed and he is sure that they wouldn't have medical issues because of it or have to spend a very long time in the NICU. And fine with that as well. So we went back to his office and set up my new C-section, which is February 18th, which is 4 days after Sky turns 2. She turns 2 February 14th. So that's pretty exciting that I'm gonna have three babies that close. In a previous video, I'm pretty sure I told y'all that I did not like the fact that I could not pick the date, nor could I pick the doctor who was going to deliver me. Well, now since it's on the 18th, Palmer, which is the one I wanted to deliver me in the first place, will be. And he's actually leaving the office and moving to, I think, Alabama or Michigan or something like that. He's not going to be in North Carolina anymore. And that's kind of bumming because he's my favorite doctor there. But he is leaving, so I'm really glad that he will be the one to do my C-section. And he'll be the one to meet my boys and everything else like I wanted to in the first place. So that's pretty dang exciting. So with the new C-section date, I will be 36 weeks and 3 days. And it is February 1st now. So I have 17-ish days before we go in for my C-section. And that's really, really exciting, but really, really scary at the same time. I'm so ready for my boys to be here because the heartburn and the back pain and the breast and hips and the hip pains are driving me flipping bonkers. But I know that it's worth it in the end, obviously. I only have 3 NST scans left, and after tomorrow it will only be 2. And then we only have 2 ultrasounds left before the boys are here. So that's really, really, really exciting. I still have to be at the hospital at 5 o'clock in the morning. I will be the first one into surgery. So that's pretty awesome. And I've had 3 previous C-sections, 2 planned, and with my 2 that was planned, they only had to postpone one of them for about 2 hours later. Symptoms are still the same: back pain, heartburn, hip pain, and not being able to sleep, which is the reason I'm doing this video at 11:42 at night. Everything with the boys besides their coming home outfit. Oh, before I get into that, I asked Palmer how he thinks their weights are gonna look when they're born, and he says for twins that they are looking for lung development and not really weight, and he thinks he's about 98% sure that at 36 weeks and 3 days, which is how far I'll be, their lung development should be good and they shouldn't have any time in the NICU, which would be flipping amazing because that means we'll go home probably Saturday. The 18th is on a Thursday. But he did tell us to make sure that we bring preemie outfits along with newborn outfits. So that way, if one happens to be smaller, then, or if they're both small, obviously, we have outfits for them and don't have to rush around or anything like that. And I think that's about it. So I'm going to do my belly shot and I will talk to y'all in my next video. So here's with the shirt on. And I feel huge now. And here's with the shirt up. And sorry, I'm itchy. That's another symptom that I forgot to say. I feel like I'm carrying around a effed up basketball most of the time.